or irritate anyone.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Allah के नाम से शुरू करता हूँ जो बड़ा मेहरबान निहायत रहम वाला है. Allah's name I begin with the most merciful, the most kind.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. The parable of his light is as if it were a niche, and within it a lamp. The lamp enclosed in glass. The glass, as it were, a brilliant star, lit from a blessed tree, an olive, neither of the east nor the west, whose oil is well nigh luminous, though fire scarce touched it. Light upon light. Allah guides whom He wills to His light. Allah sets forth parables for mankind, and Allah knows all things. Holy Quran, chapter 24, verse 35.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We welcome all the listeners to this wonderful show. You are listening to RadioMac live from the heart of Bradford on 107.1 FM, and I'm your host, Humair. And subhanallah, this is the wonderful Inquest Challenge show. We like to thank Qari Muhammad Aman Sah for doing such a wonderful program. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him in this life so he can benefit from it in the year after. And we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses him to keep doing these wonderful, wonderful shows. Ameen, summa ameen. And subhanallah, doing this Inquest Challenge show is generally with brother Hamad. But inshallah, today I am covering this wonderful show. But we do have our special guest in the studio. We do have our wonderful brothers in the studio. We do have Muhammad Yahya Kurolia and Howard Buckley. And Muhammad Yahya Kurolia is the Neighbourhood Watch Coordinator, and Howard Buckley is the Neighbourhood Watch Liaison Officer. And subhanallah, if you remember last time they came on air, we spoke about just an introduction and brief things about what the Neighbourhood Watch team does, about the different aspects of their roles and their responsibilities, and how we can get involved as a community. So I hope all the listeners do enjoy this program. Inshallah, we are here with you till up until 9 p.m. But before we do continue, if you would like to participate in this show or ask any questions, you can contact us on 01274. It's 570900. Yes, it's 570900. I will introduce our wonderful guests in the studio. Let's go to our wonderful brothers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And how are you doing today, Muhammad?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well today.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And how about yourself? Good evening, Howard. How are you doing today?
Good evening. I'm very well, thank you.
That is brilliant. Now, as you guys are aware, last time you came, you did fantastic just to talk about the introduction. Unfortunately, I didn't hear the program myself. That's why we were just getting a bit of a catch-up today. But with regards to today's wonderful topic, is there any specific element that you guys want to discuss? And then we do have some questions to ask you guys as well today. So it's up to you guys, whoever wants to answer that.
Yes, Neighbourhood Watch. We spoke about it on the previous programme, a brief history, how you become a Neighbourhood Watch coordinator, what it entails. That doesn't change. It's a partnership between residents and the police.
Absolutely.
It's a crime reduction initiative. It's about people coming together. It's about probably what you do already, looking after your neighbours, keeping an eye out for their property and their well-being, and improving the environment. Simple concepts, but very important.
Absolutely.
And it's positive and can lead to reduction in crime.
And in terms of Howard, you may know better, since you've been part of the Neighbourhood Watch team, you're the liaison officer, you've probably worked with various communities. Is it just specifically in Bradford you work, or do you work throughout the UK, or is it just around our community in the BD7 area?
My responsibility is in Bradford and Calderdale, recruiting new members to Neighbourhood Watch, pushing the concept and encouraging people to become part of a Neighbourhood Watch scheme for their area, whether it's a street or a village or whatever, run by them, whatever's comfortable and in how they run it. Absolutely. So it's got to be friendly to residents and easy to run.
And I think the fantastic thing is if you have the community involved, the community will look out for the community, and ultimately, I'm guessing that was the aim.
That's right. West Yorkshire Police have seen the value in Neighbourhood Watch, so they invest heavily in the idea and push it and see it as a positive way of reducing crime, improving neighbourhoods, and making the place safer.
Definitely.
So they have a vested interest and spend a lot of money in promoting it.
Brilliant. And in terms of Howard, since you've joined until now, have you seen an increase for the community being safer, being better in many aspects? Are neighbours talking to each other? Because I know in some communities or some areas, people generally they don't talk or they don't discuss, and is a high chance of any crime happening, or they're not paying attention. Since with the neighborhood watch team, have you seen them numbers reduce in terms of crime? Are people talking? Are they being more of a knit community in that sense, speaking and discussing these issues and aspects?
Yes, I think once a neighbourhood watch has been set up in an area, people start communicating. We've seen over the years that people tend to become more isolated. That's because of probably work commitments, family commitments. We have cars, commute everywhere on trains, in vehicles, makes direct communication very difficult.
Yep.
A neighbourhood watch opens it up to a conversation where people come together to look after each other.
Brilliant. And in terms of Bradford and these areas, is there anything that you guys do on a weekly basis or fortnight basis or even a monthly basis to get the community together? Look, we're having a day here just to discuss about our neighbourhood watch team and to let people know, because in my opinion, again, it's my opinion, I may be wrong in that, I don't think many people know about there's a neighbourhood watch team or they're looking after one another. The only reason we found out because Mohammed's in our street and he discussed that, if you remember, a couple of months back, not now. So obviously, I think maybe trying to get the word out there, or is there something still a barrier there that we're not getting out to the right audience or to majority of the people that we need to speak about?
Obviously, there's work to do. We
Yep.
need to push the message out.
Definitely.
It's covered extensively on our website, the West Yorkshire Police website. Lots of information on there, how to set up a neighbourhood watch, who to communicate with. But obviously it's still work in progress. We need to push the message even further. Bradford was the first city in West Yorkshire to set up a neighbourhood watch.
Oh, brilliant.
So it's gone from strength to strength.
Definitely.
We cover probably have an influence with 36,000 people in Bradford, and the figures continue to rise. Having
Brilliant.
said that, a large population, we still need to get out to communities who may not have heard of Neighbourhood Watch.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's my job to push the
Push
message,
it.
and I'll continue to do so whilst I
No-
hold this office.
Definitely, Howard. I think that is fantastic in what you're saying. I do have some questions to ask you, but just before I do that, I will just ask Mohammed a question as well. Now, Mohammed, in terms of when you became part of the team, have you seen anything that you've reported, or how do you pass on the message to the local fellow community-wise in the street across the BD7 area? What's your approach to get people involved and speak about these things? Or if they've seen it, how do they know to come to you and get the message out? Or there's something that's happened, and what is the first response that you would do in that sense?
So at the moment, I've got a WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
which is trying to bring the neighbourhood together, so they're aware of the situations, and they're aware of anything that goes on. So any issues,
Okay,
put
and
it on the group.
if someone's not part of that WhatsApp group, or someone knows there's a neighborhood watch team, how do they approach you, or how do they know to come to you? Is there any information that people know that you are coordinating from this specific area that you're looking out? Is it just specific in this area or BD7, or is it across the whole of Bradford, or what's your role and responsibility?
So me as the neighbourhood watch coordinator, I just look after this street only,
This street, okay. Brilliant.
and the field.
Yeah.
I'm not really expanding my sort of search or my work.
Brilliant.
Just focusing on this area first.
first, and then you probably, once you know you've got everyone's details, and then you can then push it to the following streets,
Yeah.
etc. Brilliant. And Mohammed, how did you get involved? How did you hear about this? And how do you want to make an influence on the community? Because you're quite young at the moment, and being a young person, it's not easy to look at that. There's always a stigma behind it. There's always a taboo. Someone getting involved, am I going to be in danger? Is anything of that sort? And sometimes there is a stigma and taboo behind someone young. Okay, I don't want to get involved. People are doing this. Just leave it. What's your intake on that?
I care for the community, so I'd rather there be someone there to stand up for the community
Yeah,
and do work for them.
brilliant.
So, you know, the way I came about this was I joined or found out that there was a community meeting happening many years back,
Yeah,
and we were joined by council officers, councillors, and the local police. That's how I came about to hearing what Neighbourhood Watch was.
brilliant, brilliant. And are you generally involved with a lot of police officers? Because we do see police now going into various of the streets that I don't think we had a couple of years back. I think we just before COVID, during COVID, we've started having police walking around the streets. Was there an influence from you guys that pushed that, or how did they come about going across each street?
So I am connected with the police.
Brilliant.
But there are one or two that I'm connected with in my line of work. There are issues in other streets, including antisocial behaviour, so they are being sent out there to tackle that stuff.
Okay, brilliant. And in terms of when you got something, just say there's an issue in this street specific. If there's an issue that comes about within the street that you're coordinating, what is your plan of action then? What do you do if you see something? Might be antisocial behavior, might be someone throwing rubbish, or can be anything from some small or from a robbery. What is your role, and how do you tackle that then in that situation? You've seen it. You're the first point of contact. Something's happened. Go. What is your job then?
So my main contact is the police,
Yeah.
the guys I work with. So if it's like a repetitive thing, then I can contact them and let them know so they can come out on the day or the next day to have a look at what's been going on. They can patch into sort of the camera footage from maybe the mosque or the school
Yeah.
to see what's happened. If it's like on an emergency, then I'd have to call the main 999
999.
number.
Brilliant. And have you ever seen anything happen within the street? Have you seen any kind of robbery or any kind of things that may have led you to call 999? You don't need to be specific, but just to make people aware that, yeah, if this has happened, what have you done?
So, in terms of robberies, there's not really been anything.
Yeah.
But in the past, I've been getting images of, suspicious people on WhatsApp from other friends,
Yeah.
and I've shared that on my group
Okay.
just to let people be aware of what's happened,
Yeah.
and if they come across this person, what they should do about it.
Yeah.
And I've warned people when I've seen these people come by. But the other issue that we've had is fires and antisocial behaviour, people coming by to light fires in the field when they're not meant to, and having to call the fire service to come and put the fires out.
Okay, and if it's someone, just say if it's under the age of 16 and you see someone young, how do you tackle them issues with just the youth? What would you say to them? How would you influence them in a positive manner? Because sometimes people don't know what to do in that sense when you're so young. They said if they try stopping them, lay their hands, it can be a sticky situation. Someone can say something. If they call police can't really stop them in that sense unless they've seen it. What do we do in that situation as a community, as a group? That how can we stop that, or how can we speak to the youth and tell them, look, this is not the right thing to do? What's your approach on that then?
I haven't really dealt with that kind of situation before,
Yep.
but I guess as a Neighbourhood Watch coordinator, if there are a few of you, elders too, that can come together, maybe you can go in and just kind of advise them, this is wrong what you're doing.
Yep.
At such a young age, if you get caught doing it, what the consequences could be.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. We do have some more questions. I hope all the listeners are enjoying it. During this time, if you would like to ask any questions, give your views or opinion, contact us on 01274. It's 570900. Yes, it's 570900. We will be back after this commercial break. Do stay tuned on 107.1 FM, inshallah.
The sacred house to Jerusalem, through the seven heavens did he ascend.
You are listening to RadioMac's Miraj broadcast on 107.1 FM, the voice of the Muslim community. RadioMac is raising funds for an eye surgery camp where people with cataract in their eyes can receive an operation for its removal. One operation costs approximately £35. The camp is located in the north of Punjab, Rajanpur, a very poor area where your support will be absolutely vital for its success. Please donate now. Ring 01274 570 900 or 0793 6677403.
Zamzam Travel and Tours. We specialise in flights, money transfer, Hajj and Umrah. We also do worldwide tickets and worldwide hotel bookings. The best and easy way to take care of flights, hotel bookings and money transfer in one place. Zamzam Travel and Tours, 539 Great Horn Road, Bradford, BD7 4EG, opposite Tesco's. 01274 574 072.
A unique name in the world of fast food, Amigos Bradford, from where you can get tasty mouth-watering pizzas, burgers, shakes and much more. Delivery service available. Amigos Bradford, open Monday to Sunday, 4 p.m. till 11 p.m. Order online at amigosbradford.co.uk. 503 Otley Road, Bradford, BD2 4QL. Order line 01274 786 100.
दुनिया भर की मंजिलें अब हो गई हैं सस्ती। यूके मनी एक्सचेंज एंड सस्ता ट्रेवल। बर्तानिया भर में सबसे अच्छा रेट हम देते हैं। जितनी चाहे रकम भेजें।
एक दिन रकम इधर जमा करवाएं और दूसरे दिन पाकिस्तान के मशहूर बैंकों से रकम निकलवाएं।
We take debit card payments for money transfer and you can also transfer your money online. No transaction charges. For transaction of money transfer, we can match any genuine quotation. Send your money anywhere in the world with UK Money Exchange. 78 Lom Lane, Bradford 8. Telephone 304 327.
और निकिया ना तू लेसन के ने ते ना तू टेस्ट बुक करवाना है
पापा क्या करा ना कोई चंगा इंस्ट्रक्टर मिलना ना ही टेस्ट दी डेट मिलनी
ओ क्या आखना यारा तू डाइवर्स स्कूल मोटी कने ना नहीं सुनिया
आहो पापा उन्हां दी गड्डियां ते रोडे पर बहुत नजर चढ़ियां
ते फिर उन्हां दा लेसन बुक करवाना ओ तू की गड्डी भी सिखा सनी ते नाले तू की थ्योरी ना ते ड्राइविंग ना टेस्ट भी बड़ा जल्दी बुक करी दे सनी
ते पापा दसो ना फिर उन्हां दा नंबर
For all your driving needs, contact Tanweer and Makbool on 07976 028 950 and 07846 997 551. Al-Markaz Al-Islami presents Spoken Arabic course. The Spoken Arabic course for beginners aims to pave the way for students to attain conversational Arabic, listening skills, converse in a clear, simple and engaging manner. Starting Wednesday, 1st of February 2023. Duration 6 months, Monday 10:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. or Wednesday 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. £10 registration and £300 course fee. Al-Markaz Al-Islami, Bradford, BD7 2JX, 01274 270 043.
हाय हाय चलो भी बाहर जाने ना प्रोग्राम बनना के तू साडी गाड़ी नहीं करी ये चीज करा के कदी वो चीज करा पुरानी गद्दी है इसने में जो मारा है कसूर मारे मां दो ना जिना हमारे लिए तू साना जोड़ी उस वेले तू की नहीं वाला जाने ना बड़ा चावा
To solve all your problems, come to Showkat Garage, MOT Mechanical and Bodywork Specialist, Bexar Road Filling Station Ring, 572448. We have now opened a new garage where you can get mechanical and bodywork done for your cars, vans, limos and recovery vans. Come and visit us at Brackerbeck Road, BD7 2LW, Ring 576 466.
Medical care normally goes to plan, but sometimes mistakes do happen. Have you suffered from medical negligence? Did your operation go wrong? Was there a delay in your diagnosis? If so, then please contact local specialists JL Law, who are based in the Carlisle Business Centre on Carlisle Road in Bradford. They will take your case on a no-win, no-fee agreement. Their number is 01274 397 680. Remember the name, JL Law.
RadioMac Pakistan Flood Appeal. Approximately 30 million people have been affected. 20 million people are homeless. 1,000 plus people have died and 13,000 plus people are injured. RadioMac is raising funds to help the poor and destitute people who have been affected by this flood. £30 for a daig, hot meals to feed 100 people and £80 for a tent. Donate now. Bank transfer Umair Shahid, Halifax Bank, sort code 110082, account number 12335364, or visit the link tree linktr.ee/RadioMac Bradford and click the first link to make your donation.
From the sacred house to Jerusalem, through the seven heavens did he ascend.
You are listening to Radio Mac's Mirage broadcast on 107.1 FM, the voice of the Muslim community.
بلغ العلا بكماله كشف الدجى بجماله.
Late, you're so confused. Wrong decisions you have made. Haunt your mind and your heart is full of shame. But don't despair and never lose hope. 'Cause Allah is always by your side. Inshallah, 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 you'll find your way. Inshallah, 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 you'll find your way. Turn to Allah, He's never far away. Put your trust in Him, raise your hands and pray.
Subhanallah, yes, we do welcome you back to this wonderful show. You are listening to RadioMac live from the heart of Bradford on 107.1 FM. And I'm your host, Homer, during this wonderful Inquest Challenge show,
Show me the way,
where we discuss about the Neighbourhood Watch Team.
show me the way. Inshallah, inshallah.
And we do have Muhammad Yahya Crowley, the Neighbourhood Watch Coordinator, and Howard Buckley, the Neighbourhood Watch Liaison Officer. And yes, if you guys want to get involved, you can contact us on 01274. It's 570900. Yes, it's 570900. And yes, without any further delay, we will welcome our wonderful guest back into the studio. And to the listeners that are listening, we will ask this first question to the guys. I know we've got a bit of a background, and I know all the listeners have been enjoying it. Now, to you guys, whoever wants to answer, what's some of the logistical issues that you have encountered while being part of the Neighbourhood Watch or the Neighbourhood Watch team?
Quite a complex question, but logistically, we've things to organise, meetings to hold, whether it's online or at a community centre, for instance. But a meeting point, essentially, it brings people together.
Yeah.
I prefer personally to hold face-to-face meetings.
Definitely.
Obviously, we need to tell people about the meetings. Can they get there? Have they got transport, etc., etc.? Is evening time a problem for a lot of people? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. So we have to have daytime meetings, which is fine. So we need to be in tune with the needs of the people. Can we supply them with the resources that they require? Signage and window stickers and small crime prevention items like window alarms. So obviously there's a cost to that. I need to raise funds from my bosses in the police and get them out to people that require them. So there's an ongoing issue with funding, Watch. Fortunately, the police will provide funds if they have them available. I need to be constantly calling in funds and resources for Neighbourhood Watch to make it work successfully.
Absolutely. And in terms of that, if we were going to set up a meeting, whatever it is, not myself, but I said if you were going to speak to the Neighbourhood Watch team, you're going to speak to Mohammed and the other guys that are involved, how does it go about? Do you have a WhatsApp group? Do you have numbers? Do you send out messages? Is it on email or bulletin board? And then how do you approach that to come to a neutral location that's easy for everyone and it's there for everyone? It's not just in one specific area, okay, here. And obviously I'm guessing there's a cost element behind that as well, because obviously you said about funding and we're all aware that funding, it always gets cut, especially when you need it the most. You don't have the money there. So how do you guys work around that? How do you help the community and how do you help the rest of the guys with what they need?
Well, like Mohammed, I look towards having a local coordinator, a point of contact in effect, and through them we can organise meetings. In turn, the coordinator will notify their residents of any meetings, and then we can take it from there. All sorts of ways of communicating, obviously the Zoom and Teams meetings. Obviously since COVID, it's very much online at the moment, although we are reverting back to face-to-face meetings, as I've said before. So that's good. People need to come together and put the sad events of COVID hopefully to one side.
Definitely.
And get on with the work of looking after each other.
100%.
So it's an ongoing process, and my main job is to communicate with coordinators, people who want to set up a Neighbourhood Watch. So I need to be obviously present, make my presence felt, in the community.
Definitely.
So, I push my name forward as being representative of West Yorkshire Police and the Neighbourhood Watch movement.
Brilliant. And in terms of the Howard example of this, you've got a meeting with these guys. Do you open that to the general public as well? The community say, guys, you guys can also come. This is a meeting. This is held at this place. I know obviously pre-COVID, etc. Zoom, it's a lot easier, a lot better for everyone. They can do it from the comforts of their home. If the meeting does take place, just say hence 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, you're having a meeting with these guys. Can the community get involved? Do you open it to the general public? Do you say, guys, you could come down, get involved, this is where the meeting is? And how do you get the word out there to the general public?
Again, we can do something simple like a leaflet draw. Informing people of a meeting at a community centre or a village hall or a mosque or a church. Letting people know that there's a community meeting, there's a Neighbourhood Watch meeting to discuss anything that is a problem. So yes, it's about advertising, pushing the message out to people, so that they can make the decision whether or not to attend. Generally, it's well received. We have at West Yorkshire a system called Community Alert, which is a messaging system. We occasionally send out messages. The PCSOs, of course, send out details of events in the community, crimes that are occurring, things to look out for, whether there are scams that you need to be aware of, things like that. So that's gradually building up. There's more information being put out there for people to make a decision.
Absolutely.
So the crime prevention message is pushed quite strongly, of course, but it's not only that, it's other matters that may affect the community. For instance, cleanups and litter picks that people may want to get involved with.
Brilliant. And in terms of the Howard and Mohammed, if you guys can do that, what's one of the biggest issues that you've come across? Is it one of the, because you said lip picking, and I just want to be more aware of it, because I know there's a lot of areas, people posting on social media, Facebook, Instagram, put it across everywhere to do about people that are fly tipping or doing this. Is that an issue here in Bradford, or is it an issue straight across the UK, or what is the difference? Obviously, I don't want you to give percentage and stats because you might not have them at hand. But in terms of that, what is fly tipping? How much of an issue it is, and is it one of the major issues or not?
I would consider it a serious issue. It affects Bradford. It also affects rural areas just as much, if not more, than the city centres. Happening all over the place. What we need is information, about the offenders, whether it's photographic information or details of offending vehicles. Report it to the police, of course. That may be referred back to the council enforcement teams to pursue. So pick up the phone, let the police know about fly tipping. It's a criminal offence,
Yep.
and dealt with seriously. Blights communities, of course, as
Yep.
we've all seen. It seems to affect inner cities as well as rural areas, as I've said.
Yep.
So, and it's affecting places all around the country.
Yep.
We've seen mountains of rubbish just illegally dumped. Some of it highly poisonous and
Yep.
can affect the community. So, we need that information.
Definitely. And Howard, in terms of that example, is this, and I've seen it on social media that someone's had their number plate written down. What's the plan of action? What do you do, or what does the police do in that situation? Do they issue a fine to that family or the household, or how do they go about from stopping that from happening, or prevention method from having an occasion? What is the, what can you say? What is the punishment in terms of that?
Well, it invariably attracts a jail sentence now.
Okay.
The vehicle involved will be seized and invariably crushed or sold on. So there is a loss to the criminal, possibly imprisonment, very likely imprisonment. So it's followed through seriously.
Oh, brilliant.
And the council have their own investigators, of course, so they come down heavily.
Yeah.
Of course, will come down heavily on offenders, and quite rightly, there are serious penalties for dumping rubbish.
Brilliant.
It's becoming more of a concern as well to the residents at large. They see it as a blight on their community, affecting everyone.
I think that's fantastic. To be honest with you, that's the first time I've heard of it, what the punishment is, and I think it is fantastic that at least if you seize the vehicle, you give them a punishment, and there may be a jail sentence. It'll stop them from doing that. Now, Howard, I don't know. I know that you probably don't work for the environment, but a question to you guys, and something that people might not be aware of. And Mohammed, you can join in as well and answer. If someone has, example, a fridge, or they want to remove it, where is the best place they can get rid of? I'm sure it's up and down the UK, they have plenty of it, but I want you guys to answer that. And what sort of things can they take there if needed?
Well, the council run a collection service. There's a small charge involved. You can take it to a recycling centre.
Yep.
Quite easy. And the thing is not at least dumped on the street as it shouldn't be. So there are plenty of facilities to dispose of electrical and white goods, such as fridges.
No problem. And in terms of that, when we look at all these things and we look at these aspects of people causing an issue for fly tipping, I'm guessing that you won't have the numbers here available, but maybe for the next programs, if we do, of who to contact, even if there is a charge involved, at least people know, because sometimes people in the back of people's minds are, we need to get a skip. They don't want to get the skip because of the charge of the cost. Then if they get a skip, sometimes the community starts using the same skip, and people get all these issues and the stigma behind it. But maybe in the future, if we do have it, I'm sure there's like a dumping ground here that you can specifically take waste. It can be materials like wood, electric, plastic, whatever it is. There's certain areas that you can, and nowadays I think you can get a permit for free on the council website. Is that correct, Mohammed? Yeah. So you can get a permit for free now. Before, I think there was a charge of £100+. Now you don't need to do that. You just have a permit. Go take your rubbish, whatever you need there, and it's stopping you from doing anything wrong. With that being said, brilliant. Thank you very much, Howard, for them lovely questions. Again, Mohammed, you can join in and answer whatever you have best with that. The next question is, in your opinion, what do you think would help improve the neighbourhood watch? What do you guys think, how we can improve it as a whole, or just on a small scale and then on a larger scale?
First and foremost, I'd like Neighbourhood Watch to continue to expand. Still a lot of work to do in the community to push out the message for people to look out for each other. There needs to be more confidence from the public as far as reporting things to the police. There's some hesitation, so I'd probably like to see improved communication, an easier way of perhaps reporting we have the 101 system, which is good. It doesn't always work satisfactorily because of demand. There's heavy demand. We can report things online. So it's a constant, I wouldn't say a battle, but my job is to push out the message to create the message that people it will be an advantage to them to become part of a neighbourhood watch. So that's where I'm from, and I need to get more people involved.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And in terms of the Mohammed, I'll ask you the question, then Howard, I'll ask you your opinion as well. Mohammed, when people see an issue or they see some kind of activity happening and they do not want to get involved, why do you think people do not want to report that? Or what do you think the reasoning is behind that? Because some people, I don't know personally, but I've heard it that they don't want to report it for whatever reason. Even example is this: people might have CCTV cameras, and sometimes someone comes and say, "Can we look at the footage?" and they don't give the footage for whatever reason. Why do you think that happens, or why do you think people are not cooperative towards the police or just getting involved towards the community?
I think some people have a mindset, maybe if they have seen something. And they don't want to get involved, because if another party, a third party, has done something and they get caught, it's one of those things. This person is blaming me, and you might not like them for doing so, and it's one of those things where it's like you just want to get away with it, So if someone's stepping forward, they don't want to get in the way of it, just in case they feel that something might happen to them. But people with footage, I guess they might just want to keep it for themselves as a record of what's happened and not give it, because they think that the police might not do the right thing with that information. Or
Brilliant. No, thank you very much. And Howard, my question again, the same question, but going on to what Mohammed said, do you think there's a stigma or taboo behind it? Sometimes there's a negative connotation behind West Yorkshire Police, or just police in general, because there's a lot of things that are happening and that may not have happened because of social media. It's out there. Do you think because of that negative connotation, they don't want to help because they believe something else will happen as compared to something positive, something negative will happen?
Yeah, I think people sometimes feel intimidated. They are hesitant to become involved. We understand that, and that's been a long-running problem. We want people to want to grow the confidence back between the public and the police. It's good, but has been damaged, as we all know, of recent events. But in the main, there's a healthy relationship between the police and the public. Some good police leaders, good police constables and PCSOs that we should give credit to, really, for doing
Most definitely.
a good job. Likewise, the public, very supportive. But there are problems. People feel intimidated. They may feel that to give information may cause them repercussions. We have to assure them that this won't be the case. That people need to stand together to report issues. Have confidence in the police. We have good success against criminals. We have more success than failures. So we need to regain the confidence to pursue that confidence we already have with the public. So we rely on the public for information and their support. So that has to be carefully nurtured and brought back up to strength, really.
Definitely. And in terms of, I know the West Yorkshire Police are doing like a recruitment drive, and they do it on our radio station as well. They're doing a recruitment drive to get people involved from different ethnicity and backgrounds. Do you think that will have more of a positive impact towards our community because they're getting more people involved from different ethnicities and backgrounds, and they're understanding culture, what they didn't understand maybe 20, 30, 50, 60, 80 years ago. They're doing a push now about the cultures, about the religions, and they're trying to get more people involved to give that positive mindset. Do you think that is having some sort of impact? Because I believe that their recruitment drive is up until July of this year, and they've started it last year at some point. So do you think that will have a positive impact, or do you think that still will remain the way it is?
I personally have confidence in the recruiting process in Bradford. We now have recruits from the ethnic communities. They are now my bosses. And go through the ranks. So we're getting more and more representative members of the community that makes up the culture of Bradford, the cultural state of Bradford. So I have confidence that we're recruiting from the right areas. I think joining the police now is I think people have more confidence in it, want to become a police officer, and we're appealing now to minority communities to come on board, and I think they are gradually coming to that way of thinking.
Definitely, and
it is only advantages. It represents the community in which we all live.
100%, especially being in the culture of Bradford. I think it's it was, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, it was the second most diverse city after London with the culture that we have. So it makes sense to have different people from different backgrounds and ethnicities, just to push that and to have more confidence in the police, because sometimes the stigma, the connotation, the negative mindset, people say different slurs to police officers, obviously we won't say on air, but generally when things like that do happen, they cause a lot of issues with community not coming forward to the police or not seeing them, but then they don't know how to help. I think it's fantastic what you guys are doing, trying to push that with the Neighbourhood Watch team, and I believe I'm always pro towards the West Yorkshire Police and the police itself, because I believe that they do try their best what they can do, but because of everything that happens, especially with the community and the things that happen, it is difficult. Their jobs are not easy. They're on the front, and they are trying to make our neighborhood safer, our community safer. So it's credit where it's due, with the fantastic work that goes on in the background, not only with West Yorkshire Police, with you guys as well. With that being said, Mohammed, is there anything that you want to add to that before we do continue? No, that's fantastic. That's not a problem. Now, Howard, I will ask you this question, and I want you to ponder before we go on to a commercial break. You can say a little. We'll go to commercial break, and then we'll answer the rest. The next question is, what kind of crime prevention strategies can Neighbourhood Watch coordinators put in place in order to reduce crime in the area? So that is the question. So I hope that you can take on board. If there's anything that you want to add before we go on to the break, you can, or we will go straight on to the break.
Just like to say that crime prevention, we want to start from the basics. So it's looking at your home security, ensuring that locks are in place, lighting. We don't expect people to spend thousands of pounds on crime prevention. That's not sensible at all in today's climate. But look at the basics of your house, looking at it from the outside. Our windows secure, our doors secure. Is my car displaying valuable goods like wallets and laptops? All these things are such an attraction to the criminal. So it's about a teaching process.
Absolutely, and I think there was something fantastic you said, but I'll just say it's a Arabic proverb that they generally say. They said that if someone was in a taxi and he never had the intention to do something, but if you displayed money there and the taxi driver left, it'll give someone a reason to do something that they never had the intention to do. Don't give people an intention, they won't make the judgment to do it. So it's always there just to get that. With that note, we will be back after this commercial break. During this time, if you would like to ask any question, give your views or opinions, contact us on 01274. It's 570-900. Yes, it's 570-900. You can also follow, like, and share us on our social media pages at RadioMac Bradford. We are live on our YouTube channel at RadioMac Bradford. We do ask you guys to like, subscribe, and share this video wherever you are listening to us from, and also go to our link tree. Give us your feedback on our link tree on linktr.ee/RadioMac Bradford. We will be back after this commercial break. Do stay tuned on 107.1 FM, inshallah.
You are listening to Radio Mac's Mirage broadcast on 107.1 FM, the voice of the Muslim community. Radio Mac is raising funds for an eye surgery camp where people with cataract in their eyes can receive an operation for its removal. One operation costs approximately £35. The camp is located in the north of Punjab, Rajanpur, a very poor area where your support will be absolutely vital for its success. Please donate now. Ring 01274 570 900 or 0793 66 77403.
Would you like to advertise digitally at a cost that is flexible, targetable, affordable and accessible? Then look no further. Adverts for You has designed most comprehensive range of digital advertising vans to meet the needs of businesses and agencies nationwide. Mobile digital vans with the best of technology to get your message delivered to targeted audience of your choice. Adverts from as little as £99, interacting and measuring in real time the client's message. Visit adverts4you.co.uk or call 0781 785 4715 to book your campaign today.
ओ निकियो सुनिया तुसा हॉलीडे वास्ते दुबई जुले हो इस बारी मैं भी तुसा नाल जुलता
ओ बाबा तुसा टूरी भी नहीं सकने हो ते दुबई जाके क्या करसो
ओ सुनिया उत्थे अरबी शवारमा बड़ा ही चंगा ते बड़ा ही मजे ना मिलना
ओ बाबा हुन तुसा की अरबी शवारमा खाने वास्ते कुछ है भी जाने दी लोड़ नहीं
For the most exquisite and original shawarma, come to Arabian Shawarma. Separate bird seating is available for women and families. 644 Great Horton Road, BD7 4AA 01274 401 517. Opening time 12 p.m. Eat, drink, love shawarma.
This is a 30-second ad. That's not long, but it's long enough to do something that could save you money on your energy bills. In 30 seconds, you can turn your boiler flow temperature down to 60 degrees, or switch off unused appliances, dial down the temperature on your washing machine, or swap in an energy-saving light bulb. Each one you do will be 30 seconds well spent. They all add up and could save you hundreds of pounds. Visit gov.uk/save energy for more energy saving ideas.
ओ पुत्रा ए तमाके केड़ी चीज़ां ने पे होने
ओ बाबा घबराओ ना ए तमाके आजाद कार्पेट नी सेल नी खुशी विच होने पे
ओ किस तरह
आजाद कार्पेट अपनी शोरूम विच हर चीज़ें पर सेल लाई हुई ने दे ना करो ते उन्हां नी सेल तू फायदा चाहो
The sale of the year on all carpets and furniture. Remember the name Azad Carpets, 193 Sunbridge Road, BD1 2HQ, 01274 743 981. That's 743 981. Newly opened Bradford's premier authentic halal Chinese cuisine, Rawal China chopsticks. Try our famous salt and pepper range. Special offer: 2 salt and pepper wings and chips for £10. Dine in with us and get 20% off. Exclusive to RadioMac listeners. Just quote RadioMac upon arrival. Open from 4 p.m. till midnight, 7 days a week. 3 Wilton Street off Morley Street, BD5 OAX. Ring 01274 720000. All offers collection only.
फौजिया तक ना दुल्हन कितनी सोनी लगनी है सोनी की आना लगा है जेवर जे सोने लगे विस ए मथे न टिक्का ते काना नि कांटे गले न यार एक करे कितने सोने लगने तो की पता है जेवर किथु बनाया ने मारा ख्याल है पाकिस्तानों बनवाए ने
ओ पाकिस्तान जुलने नि क्या जरूरत है चाचा जुले सारे पाकिस्तानों तो विच चंगे जेवर बनाने इन टक्कर उन्होंने मुकाबले कोई नहीं बना सकने
The best name for 22 and 24 karat gold jewelry. Remember the name Chacha Jewelers, 343 Great Horton Road, Bradford, BD7 3BU, 01274 576 088. Radio Mac Pakistan flood appeal. Approximately 30 million people have been affected. 20 million people are homeless. 1,000 plus people have died and 13,000 plus people are injured. Radio Mac RadioMac is raising funds to help the poor and destitute people who have been affected by this flood. £30 for a daig, hot meals to feed 100 people, and £80 for a tent. Donate now. Bank transfer Humair Shahid, Halifax Bank, sort code 110082, account number 12335364, or visit the Linktree, linktr.ee/RadioMac Bradford, and click the first link to make your donation.
From the sacred house to Jerusalem, through the seven heavens did he ascend.
You are listening to Radio Mac's Mirage broadcast on 107.1 FM, the voice of the Muslim community.
Subhanallah, yes, we do welcome you back to this wonderful show. You are listening to RadioMac live from the heart of Bradford on 107.1 FM, and I'm your host, Humair. And Subhanallah, this is the Inquest Challenge show with your host, Humair. We do have Howard and Mohammed in the studio, and Subhanallah, with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I hope all the listeners are enjoying today's program. During this time, if you would like to ask any questions, give your views or opinions, you can contact us on 01274, it's 570 900. Yes, it's 570 900. With this note, we will go on to this wonderful question that we did ask, and it was regarding the prevention methods that Howard did mention, but I will go on to that as well. What kind of crime prevention strategies can neighbourhood watch coordinators put in place in order to reduce crime in the area? And I'll just give a suggestion myself, and then I'll give it over to you, Howard. The simplest that we can do now, Amazon has these cameras that get connected to the doors. They're very easy, very simple to use, and you can get a full image of anyone coming. Even if you're not there, it will detect him as a motion detector. So that is sometimes a prevention. As well as cameras, you don't need to get the latest tech. You don't need to spend thousands and thousands of pounds if it's not within your means, but do the things just to make sure that places are in locks. Over to you, Howard. I just thought I'll add that little extra, and then you can take it from there.
Yes, very reasonable, as you've mentioned. CCTV and Amazon, the Ring Bell cameras, useful and good at recording crime.
Definitely.
And will be used wherever possible by the police, in prosecuting offenders. Can be obtained at a very reasonable price. But we also look to other crime prevention methods, improving door locks, internal security of your house, keeping property locked away or out of sight. Looking at the general maintenance of your premises. Are fences okay? Are they strong enough to withstand people encroaching onto your property? Simple methods like that doesn't cost a lot. We don't expect people to spend a lot of money, and it will be wrong to do so because the returns probably are not that good. So our encouragement is to follow the principles of crime prevention, which are, as we've said, just looking out for each other, maintaining your locks, keeping property out of reach, and also marking your property. We call it forensic marking, but it's simply marking your property with an ultraviolet pen with your house number and postcode. In the event of the property being stolen, it can be returned by the police in the event of it being recovered. So we just simply scan it for the UV marker, and the property can be returned.
And how do you do that? Because that's something new, that you're bringing that information even to myself. So how does it work? And just for the general public, because sometimes people might not know how to mark your property with an ultraviolet pen.
Yes, it's a small pen You can obtain them for a few pence. They are invisible, of course, but we encourage people to put down their postcode on the computer, the laptop, and the house number in a concealed place, so that under an ultraviolet light the details can be obtained. So it's called forensic marking. Important, we push that message out as far as possible. Pens can be obtained for a few pence, as I said. I can distribute them, as I have done with Mohammed, for distribution amongst his community. So that's one important message that we need to get across, because we recover, unfortunately, thousands of pounds worth of property. There's no indication of who it belongs to, so unfortunately there's little chance of it being returned to its rightful owner.
I think that is fantastic and brilliant that you said that, because believe it or not, I've first time I've came across doing this show with yourself, but I think even the general public, they might not know of it, but I think it's sometimes an education piece for someone to maybe say, okay, this is a pen, all you have to do is there, and then maybe show some kind of demonstration if you guys are standing around and say, look, these are pens we're giving to you guys to save onto your property, mark whatever it is, laptop, phone, etc. If it does go missing and we recover it, we can bring it. Might not. Is there any way to rub that off, just in case if someone has stolen the property and they've looked at it under ultraviolet light?
It's almost an indelible mark. It can't be rubbed off. It will expire over a few years, but it needs renewing from time to time. But obviously we would recommend you putting the mark in a concealed place, certainly not on the screen, of course, but behind the equipment.
Or in a corner.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think that's fantastic. The reason I did ask that, because sometimes people might come out with technology to rub it, but if there's no chance of it getting rubbed off, I think obviously over a period of time, I think that's fantastic. Then people might have, especially people that are listening, that they might have a second thought to, okay, we don't do it because people are now aware of writing that. But how do we push that message as a community, as you guys? How do we push that out and say, look, these are pens we are giving to you guys, how can we get it there? We do require and advise you guys, mark everything that you have that you believe is to be important, because sometimes something might be important to me, might not be important to yourself. So if you do found that valuable and you have that, how do we push that message? Look, guys, this is what we have, this is what we can do.
You're doing it already. To your listeners, we push it out on our website, certainly through Neighbourhood Watch. It's a work in progress, in effect. Definitely. But we need to get more people on board with marking their property. So I shall continue to push that message.
Absolutely, I think it's fantastic, and I think that you need to definitely do something, maybe a stall, or that's just an idea. It doesn't have to be that, but something that people can be with the Neighbourhood Watch team, and this is what we are advising to you guys. And my next question is regarding which are the most common crimes that happen in your area? What is the best way in which to reduce these crimes? So specifically to Bradford and these areas, what are the crimes that generally do happen?
There are house burglaries, it's still top of the list. Theft from vehicles, we mentioned before, valuables on display. People continue, unfortunately, to just leave things on display within their vehicles, so it's a theft from out of the vehicle. We're seeing emerging crimes like online scams that are particularly affecting people. So that's an emerging crime with the advent of IT. As people come on board with online business, online shopping, that's becoming a problem. Lots of money to be made by criminals pursuing that aim. Again, it's about education and pushing the message out to people to be more wary. Of course, there's general theft from person, pickpocketing. The list goes on, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, the main thing is house burglary, theft from vehicles, more complex crimes like human trafficking, modern day slavery. That seems a bit up in the air to people, but it's all around.
It's definitely
going
everywhere.
People need to be aware and be more observant.
And my two questions are, is fantastic what you've said, because I believe that there has to be a reason to have people stop. The people that are getting robbed on a day-to-day basis, whether that be through a vehicle or a house, what are the age ranges? Is it the elderly that get targeted because they're vulnerable, or is it someone that's young, or someone that's not aware that it's going to happen to them? How can it happen, or is it just a mix of everything and anything?
Statistics would suggest that the elderly are being targeted.
Yeah.
But the largest users of online shopping and other similar facilities are the young
Young
so
ones.
they're being targeted as well. So it's the whole age range, but particularly elderly people are targeted. Obviously, for a number of reasons, they seem to be more trusting, but
Yeah.
that's difficult to say.
It is very difficult because when someone's in a vulnerable state or they're just elderly, they don't think it's going to happen to them. And there's a massive, massive issue that it does happen. In terms of human trafficking, and Howard and Mohammed, you both can add to that. And you can say human slavery because it is of somewhat. How do we find out that that's a sign of someone having or doing human trafficking? Is there anything to carry that? Because it is a very difficult thing to speak about, or very difficult issue to talk about. It happens, but what are the signs? Sometimes women as well as men are doing it on their own accord, and some are not. So what are the signs? How do we push it, or how can we get someone involved if they see it? And
Again, it's being observant,
Yep.
gatherings of people. Again, all sorts of questions, all sorts of indications that it may not be, but if you're suspicious, if it doesn't look right, then generally
it won't be right.
go by your instinct, it
Yep.
won't be right.
Yeah.
Give the police a ring, let them know about your suspicions. Can be a whole range of things that appear to be a problem. Just let the police know.
Yep.
Pass the information on. It can be anonymous, online, or via the 101 system.
Yeah, definitely.
But better to be safe than sorry. There are people
100%.
suffering out there who've had their identity stolen.
Yeah.
They've had the passports withheld. They're at the mercy of these criminals. So we need to be aware of it. People need to let us know, let the police know, pass on that information.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the next thing is, Mohammed, you can add to that as well if there's anything that you want to add to that. But the next question to you guys is, and I'll ask Mohammed the first question and then we'll pass it on to yourself, Howard. How can we educate our community and build a solid police and public relationship so that the public can trust the police more often? And I'm sure that we just touched on to that, but Mohammed, if there's anything that you want to add to that, and then Howard, we'll go back to yourself as well.
So I think there should be more meetings held in the local community, so whether it be the community centres or maybe the local mosque,
Yep.
just to talk about the issues that are ongoing and what the police can do, or what Neighbourhood Watch coordinators can do to prevent those from happening again.
Absolutely. And Mohammed, has the mosques been, or the community centres, have they been very engaging? And not specifically mosques or community centres, but generally we have different places that people do, and sometimes they're not willing to help. Have they been engageful, and have they been there for you to give you that support, or in terms of that, or have you asked them or approached them or anything of that sort to say, look, I'm the Neighbourhood Watch coordinator, I'm here to help you guys, if you have anything, please come to me? Has there been any level of communication there, or is there something that you have to do?
So in this area, they have been very engaging.
Brilliant.
I've offered my services to them and let them know, I'm here to help. So is there anything in return that you can do for me? So they have been helpful
Yep.
in those situations.
Brilliant. And have you made them aware of what you're doing, and made them aware just in case anything happens in the car park or anything happens in the street, if someone's parked their car there, or if they're having some sort of issue, do you step in, or they ask for your services and you say, okay, this is what the best plan of action is to do, or this is what's happened, let's go back? And then would you coordinate with Howard yourself, or how would you go about that?
So if there is an issue, they might have someone on hand, maybe security. If no one is available, maybe then I can intervene. And if I need to report it to someone, my main contact would be the police.
Yep, absolutely. And do you know, in terms of this specific area, has there been issues around parking at certain times, certain areas? Have you ever coordinated and helped to make things easier or told people about parking in different areas or anything of that sort? Because sometimes it may happen, whether that is a funeral, whether that is a gathering or whatever it can be.
So at the moment with funerals and being a local mosque here on our street, car parking has been quite an issue. People double parking in the streets, and a message has been sent to the people.
Yep.
But it's one of those things where they don't listen.
Yeah.
And it's a very big issue because if we have an emergency in the area, we can't leave.
Yeah, exactly.
And no matter how many times they've been told, but I think they're getting on with having someone there to make sure no one's parking,
Yeah,
so
double
that the
parking.
mosque is taking action by having a security guy on standby. So if anyone has come, they send them through and send them back out
Around.
the other end,
Yep.
so they don't park in our driveways.
That's brilliant. And in terms of that, if there's ever been a situation that someone said there's a funeral and they've knocked on your door to say, look, is it okay I park? I will be back in half an hour. I'm sure majority of people will be okay, but have you ever had that kind of situation before? Or
Yeah, I have.
yeah, brilliant. So obviously people are engaging. They're trying to be, I think, respectful. I think sometimes it is a sensitive matter when it comes to funeral, but I think it's brilliant that we have places in measures in place to prevent anything from happening. Now, in terms of that, Howard, how would you respond that with the public and police relationship? How to make that better, and how can we make that engaging? I know Mohammed has given his opinion in terms of getting community centres, mosque, etc. What is your opinion on this, and how can we say to the listeners now, whoever's listening to us on Radio Mac, how can we say to them that, guys, look, this is how we can help, and this is what I'm going to do, or this is what we will look back and do something to help.
Mohammed has alluded to it already,
Yep.
so we'll listen to him. His request for more meetings with the
Brilliant.
public, more dialogue,
Absolutely.
more communication. I would like to see more meetings.
Yep.
Fell off a bit during COVID.
Yep.
There are efforts now to resurrect some police public meetings so that we can discuss issues together.
Yep.
Come to agreements about problems in the community,
Yeah.
how to tackle them, how to make people feel safer. So yeah, we've got to increase the dialogue,
Yeah.
and which will increase the trust between the two groups.
Definitely.
Good work is being done already, I hasten to add, but we need to continually push the message.
Absolutely.
We need the help of the public. There's
100%.
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But we need to place our trust in the public so that they can trust the police.
Definitely. And in terms of that, guys, again, to both of yourself, what I would like to see, as my opinion, generally just letting the street know. Every single person whoever's in the street, it might take you 5 minutes to knock on a door or send out a message or to say something, guys, look, there's a meeting here. If you're available, please come down, or someone from each household come down. At least you'll have more of a perspective from every single individual household. I know people are busy, I know it's time consuming, and my suggestion to the Radio Mac listeners as well is exactly the same thing. Just get the word out there. We've got a meeting. Every single one of you are invited. You can all say your say, and if there is any concerns or anything that you want to bring to the table, please do bring it, because sometimes it might be an oversight from someone, it might not be, and sometimes coming from a person that looks at it from a different perspective might be more engaging and useful to you guys than what you may have in the past. And I think something like that would help. And like I did say, like what Mohammed has already addressed, is have constant meetings. I think without meetings, sometimes it's good to speak over the phone, but having that face to face, I think the values a lot more, and I think a lot more can be said, whereas something over the phone might not be perceived in the correct manner. So that is just my suggestion. Again, it's for you guys to look into, and I think, Mohammed, it will be something fantastic, because how long have you been doing it for a number of years now?
So I started in 2017.
2017. So it is a long time. I think we
Yeah.
just found out what couple of months ago, was it about 6 months?
Yeah.
So obviously looking at there is some kind of work that you have to push that out there. It's been 6 years that say, come on guys, look, we're here. Let's make a difference on the street. Let's make a difference on this community. And if there's anything that you guys can help with, whatever it is, sometimes kids might want something, sometimes youngsters, or sometimes an elder. And just my question to you guys, is it open to just adults, or will young people be able to come to the meeting as well?
We welcome
Everyone.
everyone from the community, young, old.
Brilliant. So
everybody's got a contribution. It's about teamwork, really.
Yeah.
And several people together, a team. There's nothing they can't do.
Definitely, 100%.
They can put pressure on the police to respond to problems, to the council to respond to their environmental issues. We need to come together. It's not Mohammed alone doing this.
Exactly.
The whole street needs to stand up
100%.
and be counted,
100%.
which they do.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
they realise that the power is within the collective.
100%.
So.
No, I think it's fantastic. I think, look, it's about time, it's about effort, because nothing happens just for sake of it. If someone is there, they're there to make a difference and there to help. So obviously, if someone's engaging the time and effort to do something in a positive manner, there's always going to be positive outcomes. My question to you guys is, generally some youngsters might get involved, and if they do get involved and they have an issue with something, can be someone's approached them or someone said this, what's our approach to them, or how do we prevent from going into a wrong turn or a wrong matter? And then what would your guys' response be to that, or how can we engage that youngster to say, okay, this issue happened, you come to Mohammed or you come to myself, I'll be your direct point of contact, and maybe I'll be able to help you. If that does happen, please contact me directly. Or what's that intake, or would it be on a WhatsApp group, or how do we work that?
Again, communication, WhatsApp groups, yes, certainly. Like Mohammed is a neighbourhood watch coordinator. I'm sure youngsters will communicate with him.
Yeah.
And he on their level.
Definitely.
So he's not far out of being a youngster himself.
Exactly,
so,
he's young as at the moment himself.
He can communicate the message. A representative of Neighbourhood Watch, so that certainly can be for the good of the community.
Definitely.
Yes, youngsters, they are at an age where they're probably influenced by all sorts of different scenarios and characters.
Nowadays it's too difficult to go away from that because of the influence of social media, community, ins and outs. You cannot run away from things now. So there's too many things that are heavily influencing the youngsters out there. But it's just the way that you guys are working. I think it's fantastic the way you two coordinate, because otherwise you guys wouldn't be on air without the coordination. And I believe it's fantastic because obviously you being a liaison officer doesn't just have to be just Bradford. It is across the UK. So I think it's fantastic that you're taking the time out, coming on air and just to educate people, because at the end of the day, not only the people, but we are the public as well. So educating me as well, just with the forensic marker that you said, that's something new that's came about to me. And I believe that that is something that is fantastic, that someone says, okay, yeah, I've lost this. This is what it says. And if someone brings it to you, the joy on someone's face, because we don't know when it can happen to us, because it can happen to anyone at any certain point. And having that precaution just in case, there's a little bit of hope just in case that will happen. And you said there's thousands of items, so I'm sure it will give people the hope that thousands of items have been taken in place. We found your item, here it is, because of just doing that little small thing. And that small act is costing a couple of pence. If not, it will be for free if you have the funding behind it.
All the resources, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
You can have it.
No, 100%. And I think with that being said, it's a lot of positivity that we take from that. But I would ask a negative aspect, but we'll do that after the commercial break. It might not be negative. It is, again, for you to put into perspective. But has there been any barriers from yourself as a liaison officer, any barriers that you have faced from any sort of community or any group that's not helped you, allowed you to do what you need to do and as effectively and efficiently as you have wanted? and that is for you to think about.
I'll ponder that question.
And we will do that.
There's a commercial break on
Yeah. So there is a commercial break. So that's why I thought I'll give you that question, and then we can ask that after the commercial break, because there is, no matter how positive we want to be, there may be something that we can improve. And our aim of this program is to help people out there. We'd like to thank Brother Shoaib, who has called into the studio. He said he has been enjoying listening to the program. He would want to listen to a kalam. We will do that towards the end of the program. But thank you very much for the lovely feedback, and we hope that you are enjoying today's show. With this note, we will be back after this commercial break. Do stay tuned on 107.1 FM. During this time, you can ask Howard or Mohammed any questions, or myself, by contacting us on 01274. It's 570-900. Yes, it's 570-900. We will be back after this commercial break, inshallah.
From the sacred house to Jerusalem, through the seven heavens did he ascend.
You are listening to Radio Mac's Miraj broadcast on 107.1 FM, the voice of the Muslim community. Radio Mac Pakistan flood appeal. Approximately 30 million people have been affected. 20 million people are homeless. 1,000 plus people have died, and 13,000 plus people are injured. Radio Mac is raising funds to help the poor and destitute people who have been affected by this flood. £30 for a daig, hot meals to feed 100 people, and £80 for a tent. Donate now. Bank transfer Umair Shahid, Halifax Bank, sort code 110082. Account number 12335364, or visit the link tree linktr.ee/Radio Mac Bradford and click the first link to make your donation.
Zamzam Travel and Tours. We specialise in flights, money transfer, Hajj and Umrah. We also do worldwide tickets and worldwide hotel bookings. The best and easy way to take care of flights, hotel bookings and money transfer in one place. Zamzam Travel and Tours, 539 Great Horn Road, Bradford, BD7 4EG, opposite Tesco's. 01274 574 072.
A unique name in the world of fast food, Amigos Bradford, from where you can get tasty mouth-watering pizzas, burgers, shakes and much more. Delivery service available. Amigos Bradford, open Monday to Sunday, 4 p.m. till 11 p.m. Order online at amigosbradford.co.uk. 503 Otley Road, Bradford, BD2 4QL. Order line 01274 786 100.
Save the Mothers Trust is a UK-based charity formed in 2003 with the aim of helping those in poverty and hardship to become self-sufficient and independent. Support our many projects around the world, including Food Aid, World Water, and the SMT Maternity Hospital. Donate your zakat, sadaqah, and lillah by calling 012 74 270 043 or visit smtrust.org.uk. With your continued support, we can help make a difference.
There are lots of little things you can do to save money on your energy bill, like turning your boiler flow temperature down to 60 degrees, swapping to an energy-saving light bulb, switching off unused appliances, dialing down the temperature on your washing machine, closing all of your curtains at night, and if you can, finding and filling drafts. On their own, they may not sound like much, but they all add up and could save you hundreds of pounds. Visit gov.uk/save energy for all of our energy saving tips.
जिंदगी में एक मर्तबा ऐसा वक्त भी आता है जब क्वालिटी सर्विसेज, कन्वीनियंस और भरोसा हमारे लिए अहम बन जाते हैं। इसकी एक मिसाल है ब्रैडफोर्ड में सेवको कैश एंड कैरी, फ्रेश क्वालिटी ग्रोसरीज, ए ग्रेड HMC सर्टिफाइड मीट, एक ऐसी सर्विस जो बरसों से खानदानी बिजनेस ही दे सकती है। और आप सेवको से अपनी तमाम ग्रोसरीज और मीट ऑनलाइन भी डिलीवर करवा सकते हैं। सेवको कैश एंड कैरी, sevcobradford.co.uk।
क्या गल है अंकल जी पुत्रा पुलिस बकु करी चोरिया टायरां दी वजह नाल तुसां की आखिया सी ना टायर बदलाओ और तू की पता टायर कहदे महंगे वे कोई चंगी जी ता सस्ती जी जा दस ना
Champion Tyres Limited 13 to 22 inch part 1 tyres for cars, vans and 4x4s. If you buy 4 tyres you get a free laser tracking check. Champion Tyres Limited 26 Gale Lane Bradford. Call 01274 641 845. Special offer for taxi drivers tracking from £10.
पाकिस्तान में हालिया सैलाब से लाखों अफराद मुतासर हुए हैं और हजारों खानदान बेयारो मददगार नकल मकानी पर मजबूर हुए हैं। आइए मुसीबत की इस घड़ी में हम उनकी मदद करें और फैमिलीज रिलीफ की पाकिस्तान फ्लड रिलीफ अपील का हिस्सा बने। हमारी वेबसाइट familyrelief.org.uk का विजिट करें या हमारे कॉन्टेक्ट नंबर 0114 365 4454 पर राब्ता करें।
Do you want a career where you can make a real difference to West Yorkshire's communities? Are you a people person with good communication skills? Can you work both independently and as part of a team? If so, then being a police community support officer with West Yorkshire Police could be the role for you. Recruitment is now open and the salary starts at 23,100 plus shift enhancements, increasing to over 32,000 over 4 years. To apply, visit the West Yorkshire Police website. RadioMac is raising funds for an eye surgery camp where people with cataract in their eyes can receive an operation for its removal. One operation costs approximately £35. The camp is located in the north of Punjab, Rajanpur, a very poor area where your support will be absolutely vital for its success. Please donate now. Ring 01274 570 900 or 0793 66 77403.
From the sacred house to Jerusalem, through the 7 heavens did he ascend.
You are listening to Radio Mac's Mirage broadcast on 107.1 FM, the voice of the Muslim community.
Yes, we do welcome you back to this wonderful show. You are listening to Radio Mac live from the heart of Bradford on 107.1 FM. And I'm your host, Omer. We do have Mohammed and Howard in the studio. And subhanallah, we have got through a lot through this couple of hours. Now, to the listeners that are listening, if you would like to get involved, ask your questions, give your views or opinions, or even be part of the team with the Neighbourhood Watch team, you can contact us on 01274 570 900. I will ask Mohammed and Howard to give any information if someone wants to get involved towards the end of the program. So whoever is listening, if you guys want to get involved, inshallah, they will be able to pass you this information towards the end of the program. Now, just before we went on to the commercial break, we spoke about any barriers, anything that is stopping yourself from doing your job more effectively and more efficiently. If there's anything that you can talk about, and then something that we can maybe help and support you in trying to overcome them as well.
I've pondered this question for the last 5 minutes while you've been
absolutely
on air, but yeah, my job is refreshingly easy.
Brilliant.
Because most people do want to do their little bit for the community, whether it's just to be part of a neighbourhood watch or to assist with a community project. People are generally favourable. There are instances of resistance to neighbourhood watch that I've come across, but generally people are very supportive. Some people think that there's little to offer, neighbourhood watch. They have a resistance because they don't have confidence in how effective it can be. It's my job to persuade them otherwise.
Yeah.
But some people will still be resistant. But over my career, I've met, fortunately, very few. They can be persuaded as to the effectiveness of neighbourhood watch.
Yeah.
And that's my job, to persuade people who are resistant to the concept. So that's a barrier that I have to overcome, and Fortunately, it doesn't happen very often, but I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared to try and persuade them to be part of the collective. So yeah, an interesting question and one I ponder, and one that may not be resolved. But in general, I don't see it as a serious issue by any means.
Yeah, absolutely, because you're still doing what you are doing, and it's still allowing you to do what you are. And sometimes people do need that little bit of persuasion just to have a better understanding of realizing that, yeah, this is what we need. And it's obviously, it's ultimately your job to make people aware, to say, yeah.
I have confidence in Neighbourhood Watch.
Yep.
So I have confidence in the people. Doesn't always work, but I have confidence in the message I put across. I have confidence in Neighbourhood Watch, or else I couldn't possibly do my job.
Yeah, exactly.
Not be committed to it. So yeah, I'm pleased that people come on board and try to do their bit for their community.
Brilliant. Now, my question to you guys, I don't know if you're aware of it, but something that I've just gone onto my phone, just had a look, and I just thought, okay, wow, this might be useful to you guys. I don't know how involved you are. There's an app called Nextdoor. I don't know, Mohammed, if you know, going back about 8 months ago, there was a letter that went out to every single household in Bradford. I'm not sure if it was the UK, to get everyone on the app who's living in the area. If there's any issues that happen, you can post it on there. Anything that you want to know about the community, whatever it is, people just post anything. Was that something that you guys influenced, or is that something that's totally separate, or is that something that you guys might be looking into?
It's something that the police are looking into, whether to promote Nextdoor, the idea of Nextdoor. I think the concept and the idea is sound. I think that there's problems with the messages, some of the messages that are put out there.
Exactly.
The police and Neighbourhood Watch particularly have no control over the Nextdoor app. As far as local communities go, and local messages, yes, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's something that's
you need some control. Yeah.
Police are looking into it as to whether it's a viable communication.
And was that something
method.
from you guys or West Yorkshire Police, or was it just something that was just randomly put out there, the Nextdoor app?
It's been going a couple of years, to my knowledge,
Yeah.
and it's designed to keep people locally informed.
Yeah.
Have the police a part to play in that. That's been evaluated at the moment.
Yeah.
We have our own messaging system called Community Alert, of course.
Yeah.
Which is supported by the police and Neighbourhood Watch for
Brilliant.
local messaging of a police nature. So whether we gain any ground by supporting that particular app, Nextdoor, is something that's being looked at.
In the pipeline. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Now, the next question, Howard, is specifically for yourself. And the question is, if you're a Neighbourhood Watch coordinator, could this experience help you with the future career prospects in the police, or any other future career that you will pursue?
Yeah, I'm sure that a Neighbourhood Watch coordinator like myself is interested in working for the police, because you're engaging with the public to find out more about what their experiences have been in the community, and what kind of things they have faced in terms of crime. And if you if you work or serve as a policeman, you're doing those roles that you have done as a volunteer.
Brilliant. And you'll get paid for it.
And you get paid for it. Yeah.
Brilliant. And obviously, Mohammed, the good news for yourself is if you've not applied, you still have time to apply. West Yorkshire Police are still recruiting, especially from, I think, ethnic minority background. So you do have a lot of time to do that, I think, up until July. So this is the perfect opportunity for you to join the police force if you would like. So they are recruiting. The next question to both of you is there anything that you guys want to talk about specifically in this last 10 minutes, and anything that we will discuss over the upcoming weeks as well? Over to you both.
Again, we need to push the message out about Neighbourhood Watch. I keep banging on about this, but Neighbourhood Watch is the largest voluntary organisation in the UK.
Brilliant. That's actually something good to know as well.
With 2.4 million households involved, which equates to probably 7 million people being involved with Neighbourhood Watch. We need to engage with it more, get people on board to become more active perhaps, to be more engaging, to see the value of Neighbourhood Watch. I think people for themselves see the value in it.
Yeah.
It's been going nearly 40 years in the UK. So it's down to the people themselves that Neighbourhood Watch has survived.
Yeah.
Because the people run it, operate it themselves. No two Neighbourhood Watchers are alike, I have to say that.
Yeah, definitely.
People run it according to their own needs, the time availability, and it can be done. It can be run on what availability you have, time-wise. So it's very easy. The concept is so easy, but it's down to communicating with residents, with your neighbours, encouraging a two-way conference between yourselves and the police. It's a partnership between yourselves and the police, and it's a crime prevention initiative. Although it has other aspects to it, like environmental issues and looking after people, supporting them in times of crisis, as we've seen in recent COVID pandemics, where Neighbourhood Watch came into its own with people helping out and delivering shopping, etc., to the vulnerable members of our community. That's where it comes to the fore, and I would like us to develop it and become not an essential part of the community, but something that people can look towards to answer some of their problems, really.
Definitely, and I think I know you said it's not essential, but I think if we do it correctly, I think it can be an essential part of the community to prevent things from happening, whether that be youngsters, whether that be adults, whether that be someone vulnerable. I think it's the first initial step. Again, is my opinion, might not be possible depending on the people, but if you have a coordinator in every single street, starting off obviously small and then getting everyone in every street, it has that potential. Doesn't mean it's 100% thing to go, but at least it's a potential there to prevent anything from happening in the near future, to say, okay, yeah, this is happening, someone is dealing drugs, let's give someone a call, this is what's happened, get someone there, or someone's fly tipping, let's get someone involved, we've got the number plate, we've taken a picture, we've done this. All these little things we might think, okay, it's not going to happen, but if you take them things in consideration, every single person in at least one person in every street, to have that little say, to say, yes, I'm looking after my community, I want my community to flourish, I want the people to flourish, I don't want anything to go wrong. We will have a better community, better people, a better understanding, and I'm pretty sure that it'll help the community flourish as better and best it can. And that's where I think you guys come in place to say, yeah, guys, all of you can get involved, give us a call. Now, Howard, Mohammed, anything that you want to add to that, and then I will ask you guys to give some contact details or anything that if the general public want to get involved, how they can get involved. Over to you, Mohammed.
I'd like to add a bit more on the crime prevention side. So as Howard has stated, if there have been any issues that a resident has come across or seen, then the website, the West Yorkshire Police website, has a action side to it, so you can upload images or anything that you've seen to the site, so then someone can pick it up.
Oh, that's brilliant.
If it is an emergency, then the best method would be to contact the police or any other emergency service if a crime is taking place.
And do you know the website? Can you elaborate on the website? Where is the website? How can someone access it? An example is this: someone, myself, has no knowledge of that. How can I go on the website? How can I put on the image and inform West Yorkshire Police about what is happening?
So the West Yorkshire Police website, if you go on to the sort of tab 3 dots on the side,
Yep.
will give you a list of different sort of
drop downs.
Yeah, drop downs. Different sections that they deal with and one would be to upload images or a sort of little report of
Yeah.
what kind of crime is taking place.
And then you just fill in that. But how do I initially go on the website? Would I go on Google? Would I type in West
Google.
Yorkshire Police?
Google, yeah.
Okay, and then I've gone onto there. I've seen 3 dots in the top left-hand corner, you said,
Yeah.
and then it'll be a report saying
Report.
fly tipping,
Yeah.
burglary, drugs, etc.
Yeah.
Would you have a different? And then I'll just fill that in,
Yeah.
send an image, and then the police are aware. What if someone that's taking a picture and their life might be in danger or anything at that moment? And what would your guys' advice be on someone that's trying to maybe take a picture and say, look, I found out someone's dealing drugs or someone's done this of fly tipping and there might be a risk of whatever element there is. What is your advice on that person to stop filming, stop recording, or who to contact?
I mean, taking pictures, try and take it in a way where no one's going to see you. You know, try and do it in a discreet manner. In the past, I've done that when something illegal has been taking place.
Yeah.
And just trying to make sure that I'm not creating havoc.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you don't want the public's life to be in danger, or you don't.
That's correct. I don't
Yeah.
advocate people putting themselves in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can take images.
Images, I think it'll just be a lot more positive. I think even when getting police involved, if there is something clear cut and you can do it, by all means do it, but don't endanger your life or don't endanger the life of others around.
First and foremost, ring 999.
Yes.
It's an ongoing crime. Any other information, 101, or information can be processed online.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And guys, if you guys want to give some details about how someone can get involved with the Neighbourhood Watch team, what is the first plan of action? Is there an interview process, or can anyone do it? How do we know we are getting the right people for the Neighbourhood Watch team?
Yeah, people can email me, howard.buckley@westyorkshire.police.uk. The Neighbourhood Watch coordinator is representative of the people, so if we have residents with a desire to become a Neighbourhood Watch, then that's good enough for us. The people themselves will appoint almost their own coordinator,
Yeah.
in whom they have the trust. So yeah, that's sufficient for us.
Yeah.
There are no background checks as such as far as Neighbourhood Watch is concerned. We rely on the goodwill of the people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the character will be
Yeah.
presented by the residents as them being confident in that particular character.
Yeah.
So, yeah, feel free to drop me a line at any time.
Yeah, absolutely.
The process is very simple.
Absolutely. And can you just repeat it once again with the spellings as well, just in case people do not know the spellings? If you can just repeat a few times so people know if they need to contact you, this is the email, how to email you, and just take it from there.
It's Howard, HOWARD .Buckley, BUCKLEY @westyorkshire.police.uk.
Brilliant.
That email will reach me.
Absolutely.
And I'll make contact with them.
Brilliant, brilliant. So just to the listeners that are listening, is howard.buckley@westyorkshire.police.uk, and inshallah, with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you'll be able to contact them. And if you want to be part of the team, just drop them a line. They will talk to you, and then you can take it from there. Any last words that you two want to add to that? Muhammad, I'll ask you first. Any last words before we do ask you guys to take your leave, and then I will ask Howard as well.
So there is one last thing that I'd like to add.
Absolutely.
At the moment, and I have experienced it, an issue on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Where employers or so-called employers are contacting people in regards to jobs that do not exist, but people are vulnerable to it, and so they will believe that they are being contacted.
Yeah.
With me, it's a sort of I'm aware of the scams that are taking place. You get a link sent by Royal Mail or Amazon when we know very well that they don't send links out by email.
Yeah.
It's just a way of getting a hold of your IP address on your laptop or into your mobile devices. I think we just need to be alert of those moments But the WhatsApp things are people taking a hold of other people's profiles on maybe LinkedIn or Facebook or something like that, or something from the company itself, and trying to say there's a job going. What I would say is try and contact the company itself and speak to a representative of that company or that organization and ask them if there is someone there working with that name. It's the best way to find out, because if you give in to what this person is saying, then it could be a moment of fraud.
Yeah, definitely.
When it first happened to me, I contacted Victim Support.
Yep.
They're an organization based in Bradford, and they help with people in terms of fraud and give you the best of advice and information on what to do next.
Oh, brilliant. And can you reiterate that? So victim support, and is there any website or anywhere where someone can contact them, just in case anyone that is listening has gone through that same issue or same problem, how they can contact them just to give them that initial support or ongoing support that they may need?
So there is a website which is linked with West Yorkshire Police, and it is the fraud team, and you can report your problem or your issue on there, and they can come back to you as victim support. You can speak to someone on the phone and just explain what's going on, and they will explain to you what the next steps will be.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. And Howard, is there any last words that you want to say to the listeners out there as well?
Yes, as far as vulnerable victims go, Age UK provide a good response to crimes and online fraud, as particularly our vulnerable members of the community, particularly elder citizens. So Age UK.
Age UK, brilliant. Thank you very much for that, and thank you very much for your valuable time.
It's a pleasure.
To both of you to come down, and hopefully we will see you. Is it every fortnight or every month?
I think every fortnight at the moment.
Every fortnight, and I hope to see you again. And this time, inshallah, I will be with Brother Hamad. I will be in the studio as well, inshallah. But I hope that you guys have enjoyed the program. I hope the listeners have enjoyed the program, and we will see you guys next week. From us, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And to you, Howard, take care, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, it is coming to the end of our show. Inshallah, the next program will be the dream interpretation with Mufti Shahid Iqbal Sahab. And if we have said or done anything wrong, please find in your heart to forgive, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with those who forgive. And inshallah, the next program will be with Mufti Shahid Iqbal Sahab. And this last kalam is dedicated to Brother Shoaib. I know you wanted to listen to this kalam from us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Allah Hafiz.